Om Namo Venkatesaya. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavathanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashanteye Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanideye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Tismarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat Vimuchate Namastasmi Vishnave Prabha Vishnave Lakshmi Nata Samarambam Nate Amana Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Partaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandatami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Namo Venkatesaya. My pranams everybody. We started chapter 11 yesterday, Vishwarupa Darshanam, Bhagavan's the universal form of the Lord. So Arjuna opens the topic by saying that, Krishna, you have been so kind enough to me, and then you have given me this knowledge. With that knowledge, my delusion is completely gone. And then if you think that I can have your universal form, that is that Vishwarupam, Aishwarya form, you can show me that form. So Bhagavan says, yes, I'll show you that, which contains the hundreds and thousands of different forms inside me, and different colors also. Then all these 33 crore devatas are inside me, the 11 adityas, the 12 adityas, the 11 rudras, the 8 vasus, the 2 Ashwini Kumaras, plus all these maruts, and everybody is inside me. So, sloka number 7.
Ihaikastham jagatkritsnam pashyadya sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha yacchanyad-drashtumicchasi.
So Gudakesha, that means one who is overcome your sleep. That's what Bhagavan Arjuna is, and therefore he says he's addressing as Gudakesha. So Arjuna, yad-drashtumicchasi. So what he wanted to see. He wanted to see my, this Vishwarupa Darshanam. So you can see that Iha Ekastam Jagat Krishnam. So in me, that is that single person. Jagat Krishnam means entire universe. Jagat is universe. Krishnam is completely. Pasya Adya Sacharacharam. That means all the moving, inert and sentient things, everything you can see inside me. That is the entire, the world is made up of Chara and Achara. This world is made up of this moving and then non-moving things. So Mama Dehe, so inside my body you can see everything. Yet Chat and Yet, that means whatever you wanted to see in my body, whatever you wanted to see in my this Vishwarupa Darshanam, you can see everything, the moving, the unmoving. The entire universe is inside me, and therefore whatever you wanted to see, you can see inside me. That's what Bhagavan says. Move on to the next sloka.
Natu mam shakyase drashtum anenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram.
So, Natumam sakyase drashtum anena eva swachakshusa. That means you will not be able to see my this Aishwa, that is this Vishwarupa form, with your physical eyes that you possess now. And that's sakyase, that you will not be able to see my form. And therefore, I am going to give you Divyam Dadami Te Chakshu. So I am giving you a divine eyes. Dadami Divya Chakshu. That means Divyam Chakshu. That means I am going to give you a divine eyes. Through that eyes, you will be able to see my complete form. So this, this eyes that we have got can comprehend only up to 3 dimensions. It can't see beyond that 3 dimensions. Bhagavan is beyond dimensions. And therefore, with this eyes, it will be very difficult for you to see that. Even in those days, when we had this 3D effect on this movies and all those things, at that time they used to give a special class for the people to see the effect of the this 3D effect on these movies. Similarly, Bhagavan is saying that with this eye you will not be able to see my complete this Aishwarya form, and therefore I will give you a special eyes, the divine eyes. Having with that eyes you will be able to see me completely. That's what Bhagavan is saying. So he's giving the Divya Chakshu. That means he's giving the divine eyes to this Arjuna who wanted to see. So again, the implication is that if you have a sincere desire towards anything, Bhagavan is providing all the means to reach, to get whatever you want. That's what is being exhibited in this slokas. No, So Arjuna sincerely wanted to see the Bhagavan's this yoga, this Aishwarya form, the Vishwarupa Darsana form, and therefore Bhagavan is taking all the steps, including giving his special eyes through which he will be able to see that. So as long as our desires are sincere, then Bhagavan will be able to fulfill the desires, giving all that is required to fulfill the desires. So that's what is, you can see the implied meaning of, these various slokas. Okay, next sloka number 9.
Sanjaya uvacha एवमुक्त्वा ततो राजन् महायोगेश्वरो हरिः दर्शयामास पार्थाय परमं रूपमैश्वरम्.
So Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra. So the whole conversation is starting from the conversation of this Dhritarashtra and then Sanjaya. So Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra, Eva Muktva, having said this, Tataha, thereafter, Rajan, Dhritarashtra, Mahayogeshwaro Harihi, the great yoga Aishwarya. That means he has got this great power. Aishwarya, that means he has got this power, ability to control over everything in this universe. That is what Bhagavan Harihi, that is Sriman Narayana, who is the greatest controller of this entire universe, has got everybody under his control. That Harihi, what did he do? Darshayamasa Parthaya, for the sake of Partha, that is Arjuna, Darshayamasa, exhibited his Paramam Rupam Aishwan. So he exhibited his ultimate, Paramam is ultimate, great form, Rupa Maishwan. So he exhibited his complete Vishwarupa form for the sake of Partha to see him. That's what is the Sanjaya saying. So having told this, having said this to this Arjuna and giving him this, this Divya Chakshu, the Yogeshwara Hari, that is the great Sriman Narayana, exhibited his Vishwarupa Darsanam for Partha to see him. Let's move on to sloka number 10.
Anekavaktranayanam Anekadbhutadarshanam Anekadivyabharanam Divyanekodyatayudham.
Aneka Vaktram. Eka means one, Aneka means many. So Vaktram means, one meaning of Vaktram is the faces or the mouth. So in Sanskrit, Vaktra also means mouth. So he saw multiple mouths. Nayanam, multiple eyes. Nayanam, Ekam Adbhuta Darsha. That means wonderful sight. It was a beautiful, wonderful sight. Bhagavan exhibited multiple faces, multiple mouths, multiple eyes. That's remember this reminds us of this, the Purusha Suktam. Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Shabhumim Vishvato Vritva Adyadishtat Dashangulam. That means Sahasra Sirsha, but he has got 100,000 of eyes, the face, the heads. Sirsha means head. Sahasraksha, thousands of eyes. Sahasrapa, thousands of feet. So Bhagavan is exhibiting that kind of a form over here. Aneka Vaktam, multiple mouths. Aneka Nayanam, multiple eyes, and then Adbhuta Darshan. That means wonderful. What is a wonder? Wonder is which is beyond the comprehension of the mind. As long as we see something logic in that, we don't see it as wonder. If we don't see logic in what we see, then we say it's a wonderful thing. I'm not able to understand. When the intellect cannot comprehend, then it is wonder. So the intellect could not understand the thousands and thousands of eyes, and then form the mouths, and then the heads, and all those things of Bhagavan. Aneka Divya Abharanam. That means multiple divine ornaments. Bhagavan was wearing multiple divine ornaments. Divyan Eka Udyata Yudam. That means he was also holding all divine ayudas. Ayudas means the weapons. Bhagavan was holding abharanas. He was holding this, wearing this abharanas. He was also holding this various, the multiple ayudas. In fact, Bhagavan, primarily Bhagavan has got this 5 panchayudam: Shankha, Chakra, Gada, then this sword, Nandakam, and then Shangam. That is that bow. These are the 5 primary organs, primary weapons of Bhagavan. But then, like in the last nama of the Vishnu Sahasranam, Sarva Praharanayuta. So Bhagavan can use anything as his weapon, and therefore he is holding multiple weapons in his hands also. So multiple heads, multiple mouths, multiple eyes. Very beautiful. That is very wonderful sight. He was wearing so much of ornaments, as well as holding different weapons in his hands. Next sloka.
Divyamalyambaradharam Divyagandhanulepanam Sarvashcharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishwatomukham.
Divya Malya Ambaradaram. That means he was wearing beautiful divine, the garlands also. Divya Malya Ambaradaram. Ambaradaram means, Ambaram means cloth, dharam. So he was also wearing beautiful clothes. So he was holding this Shukla Ambaradaram. The first sloka is Shukla Ambaradaram. Shukla means white. Ambaradaram means Ambara means cloth. Dharam means one was wearing this white color cloth is called as Shukla Ambaradaram. In fact, Ambara also refers to the sky. So there are two meanings to Ambara. Ambara, one meaning is the cloth, other meaning is the sky. In fact, Andal speaks about both the meanings in this Pasum 17. Ambarame Tannire Shore Aram Jayam. So that means the first line she's saying, Ambara, that is Nandagopala's, the charity is being talked of here. So he was giving this, this Ambaram. Ambaram means the cloth. Vastradhanam. He was doing that. The same Pasum later on, Ambaram Mudarittu Ongi Ulakalanda Umbar Koma. That means Ambaram Mudar, that means one was staring open this sky and then went up to that, this up to the Indra Loka. So Ambaram Udarittu. Ambaram, there she is referring to the sky as it. But then sky is also called as Ambara because the sky is like a cloth or which is the covering this entire universe, and therefore the sky is also called as Ambara. So that means he was valuing the what do you call the divine abharanas, divine garlands, divine cloths, Divya Gandhanu Lepanam. That means his body was smeared with beautiful, very fragrant, this Gandham. Gandham means all this, this fragrant things like the Chandan and all this. Bhagavan's body was smeared with Divya Gandhanu Lepanam. Sarva Ashcharyamayam. So again, we talked about this Adbhuta Darshanam. Similarly, Sarva Ashcharyamayam. That means again very beautiful, very wonderful sight. Devam. So he was like this divine person was very Ashcharyam. That means wonderful sight of Bhagavan was that. Anantam. Anantam means there is no end. So Bhagavan's vision, it was going on and on and on and on. There is no end to that. There is no end or there is no limit to his, this form that was being exhibited. Anantam. Vishwato Mukam. So that means all pervading. That means he was pervading this entire universe. So Bhagavan, so there was no place Bhagavan could not be seen by Arjuna. So that means he was pervading this entire universe, and that's why he's also called as Anantam. Anantam means Antam means one is being conditioned. One is there is a limit. There is no limit. He is not limited by space. He is not limited by time. He is not limited by objects. All objects are in him, and therefore there is no limit to his he is pervading all objects. He was present in all the entire space. Vishwatomukam. That means the entire space was occupied by Bhagavan's Vishwarupa Darshanam, and therefore that was the beautiful or the wonderful form that Arjuna saw that. So that means he was wearing very divine garlands, divine cloths. Then he was wearing this. The entire body was smeared with the fragrant smell of this chandan and other fragrant things. Then he was the divine form was endless, and he was pervading this entire universe. That was a very wonderful sight that Arjuna saw. Move on to the next sloka.
दिवि सूर्यसहस्रस्य भवेत् युगपदुत्थिता यदि भासदृशी सा स्याद् भासस्तस्य महात्मनः.
Divi Surya Sahasrasya. That means it is in the sky. Bhavet Upagata. Bhavet Yugapad Uttitaha. That means it looked like as if this 1,000 suns have completely risen from the sky simultaneously. So supposing one sun itself is so bright, supposing thousands of suns have risen from the sky simultaneously, well, that is the kind of effulgence that Bhagavan is, he was possessing at that point of time. So that means then, in fact, that is what we saw in Vishnu Sahasranam, different meanings, different namas indicating Bhagavan is the source of effulgence. The sun, the moon, and the stars, and everything get that source of light only from the light. So from Bhagavan only, he is the source. That's why this the Upanishad says, Keto Upanishad, Mundukom, same mantra. Natatra Suryo Bhati na Chandra Tarakam, Nema Udyito Bhanti Kutoyam Agni. It means Bhagavan's effulgence was so great. In his presence, none of them shine, neither the sun or the moon or the stars or everything. Supposing if you, in the night when it is dark, supposing we hear some noise, then you have some torch beside you, so you put on the torch is able to give that light. So that light is bright at night in the darkness. Supposing if you have during the daylight, especially at 12 noon, if you take this torch to the sunlight, you will not see the effect of the light of the torch light. It's the light coming from the torch light itself. So that is the kind of situation in that sun was there. Sun is there. That is, sun's light was something like the torch light in front of the Bhagavan as such. So Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavet Upagat Uttita. That means simultaneously 1,000 suns have risen from the sky. I said that was the kind of effulgence that Bhagavan had. Yadibha sadrasi sa syate bhasastasya mahatmanah. That was the radiance. Bha means the light. So that was the kind of radiance, that the effulgence that the supreme person was in that the Mahatmana. That was the radiance of that supreme person when he was manifesting as the this Vishwarupa in the Vishwarupa Darshan. So in the Vishwarupa Darshan, Bhagavan's the radiance was so bright, as if thousands and the suns have risen simultaneously in the sky. That was the kind of radiance that Bhagavan is, Bhagavan, it was emerging from the Bhagavan's body, thousands, the light equivalent to the thousands of suns. That was the universal form of Bhagavan when he gave this vision of this Vishwarupa Darshanam to Arjuna. I think we will stop with that and continue our discussion tomorrow. Vasudevasutam devam kamsa chanooramardhanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagatgurum sarvam. Sri Krishna arpanamastu. Krishna 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 Krishna.